I'm here with Anita Forelli, who has written this absolutely fantastic book called The Big But. We're going to dive into the first part of that book. I really want to do this with you, Anita. And the opening chapter actually has the main character called Lydia buying a lottery ticket, which is a great start to a book. Why they're buying a lottery ticket?
Winning the lottery is the ultimate rescue for a lot of people, isn't it? I mean, it's freedom, it's a different life to where they are. So if people are unhappy with the life they're living, winning the lottery is the ultimate rescue from that life. But it's also, in the opening paragraph, it shows hope, but it also shows doubt. And doubt is where the buts are. Because in the chapter, the main character is buying their lottery ticket when the man in front asks the cashier for a winning lottery ticket for tonight, please, love. And the cashier says, I'll try my best. So immediately, the main character goes into a thought pattern of, well, what if that is the winning lottery ticket? What if I'm wasting my money because that person has just bought the winning lottery ticket? There are a lot of buts in that sentence, and this is what happens when we start doubting, and any doubt is usually associated with a but. I mean, what are the odds of winning the lottery? It's currently 45 million to 1. I think the odds are better on Danny Dyer becoming the next James Bond, aren't they? So, that's probably a safer bet. But our doubts are our airbags. Every time you have a doubt, so the main character is then starting to wonder whether this lottery ticket whether there's actually any point in buying this lottery ticket. And what they've done is they've inflated their massive airbag. So their archer may have been trying to deliver this desire to this person, but then they inflate their airbag with their doubt, and it ricochets off and just lands somewhere else. Or maybe it goes to the next person, who knows? But it just ricochets away. And our beliefs influence our ability to manifest. If we don't really believe that we, A, deserve something or are capable of creating it, then what's the point? We're not going to get it, really. The other thing to consider is that your archer can't shoot a moving target. So when you're flip-flopping between, I really would like to win the lottery, but I probably won't, I'm not a lucky person. There is a saying that luck is when preparedness meets opportunity. And so are people lucky, or are they prepared? Are they prepared with their thoughts, with aligning their thoughts and their emotions, using the law of attraction to do everything? I did some research back in 2022 on the lottery after I'd written this book. And the research that I found was that in the UK at that time, there were 2.1 million millionaires. What percentage of those, or how many of those 2 million do you think became millionaires by playing the lottery?
Very, very few, I imagine.
It's actually about just over 6,000 at that time, which is 0.003% of the millionaires in the UK. So surely there's a better way of being successful in your life than just buying a lottery ticket.
I think that's a fantastic stat, and I love it. I'm going to use that one. And I think you're absolutely right to focus on this. But how can people recognise their sort of how they're being limited? How can they recognise their buts, particularly where they're sort of almost subconscious, they're built inside to it? How can people sort of recognise that?
Yeah, I think the main thing is you have to be careful of the words that you use, the self-talk you use, and that's where you will find the buts in your conversation. These are the things that are actually your limiting beliefs and that are stopping you achieving what you really want to achieve. When you're talking, look for the sigh. Do you sigh when you talk about something that you dream of or that you desire? Is there a in there? Is that because that's bringing your energy down, your vibration down about the subject you're talking about? And you know, you're losing the excitement for it. Are you using the word but more than you should do? Is it that you want to lose weight, but everyone's told you that losing weight after the age of 50 is impossible? I know that's false. I've got friends who've lost 2-3 stone over the age of 50 because they've been focused, they've been consistent, they've had a thought, the arrow's been shot, they've let the arrow hit them, and they've achieved their goal. It's hit the target, and they've lost the weight that they wanted to lose. In the book, the main character wants to be an author. They come up with so many reasons, so many doubts as to why they can't be an author. One of them is qualifications, then it's connections, and then it's experience. But the archer in the book explains that they can bring all of that to them if they just believe, have faith and trust in the process.
I think the concept of the archer in the book, and if you don't know the concept of the archer, you'll soon find it out that's in the book, is a really brilliant vehicle, and it's a fantastic thing to explain, well, the whole concept of the law of attraction, how it can actually help you. So there's another question here that I have about the daily routines. We all have these daily routines that actually where things sort of get in the way of our progress, if you like, through life. How does the law of attraction help that?
One of the main things that is always suggested with the law of attraction is to recite affirmations. Now, what an affirmation is that it's a phrase or a saying that you use to change your energy, but also to rewire your subconscious. The subconscious is much older than the conscious mind. And if you think about it as a bit like a grumpy relative that believes things to be fact and this is the way it is. So by saying an affirmation, a positive affirmation, you're reprogramming the subconscious mind to accept an alternate reality, to accept something different. Now, affirmations can be a bit like Marmite. Some people love them and some people hate them. And honestly, I've struggled sometimes with affirmations that other people try to offer me because they're not my words, so they don't make sense to me. Also, I quite like poetry and rhymes, so I will turn mine sometimes into little poems or little rhymes to help me. So that's one way of doing it. If you think about it, also with affirmations, when you go to sports events, there's usually cheering and shouting, and I remember going to a football match in 1981. That was the last time I went to a football match. And they were shouting for a player, but the chant was about this player scoring a goal. It's kind of an affirmation. They're wanting to create the reality of a goal scorer. So that's what they're trying to create. So affirmations is a key one. Another one is journaling, is writing down your thoughts and your feelings. Was today a good day? Why was it a good day? Why was it not a good day? So that's another way of looking at it. I was watching television the other night and on the subject of affirmations, and I was watching an episode of Friends, and Bruce Willis was on screen as a character, and he was dating Rachel. He was out on a date, and he was standing in front of a mirror, and he was telling himself that he was a love machine. So he was building himself up. He was building up that energy. It's about raising the vibration and raising the energy. That's the point of an affirmation. Another thing to do is to break down your goals into smaller pieces. There's a saying, I used to teach leadership skills, and one of the sayings that I quite often use when people would be overwhelmed by something is, how do you eat an elephant? And it's one bite at a time. And it may seem that what you actually want is overwhelming. Say you want to become a pilot and you have to have hundreds of hours of training to do it, but actually all you're doing is 1 hour of training plus another hour of training. So you don't have to be overwhelmed by it all. And a key thing with it is gratitude, because if you do something for somebody and they're grateful, They want to do more for you. And it's the same way with the law of attraction. I mean, your archer doesn't expect to have any gratitude, but if you're only thinking about all the wonderful things that have happened to you during the day, again, that's high vibration, that's high energy, and you're just going to attract more things to be grateful for.
I think you've led on to my next question, really, and the obvious one is, how do people find out more? There's the book, obviously, and then some other stuff that you're doing.
There is. I mean, there's lots of things that you can do. I mean, there's the book, you can, the podcast, you know, there's more episodes here to find out more about it. Create a vision board of what you want. I mean, I have a vision board on my phone. I use a program, but the key thing is you have to be consistent. You have to be focused about this. So there's no point in creating a vision board and then putting it behind a door and never looking at it. You've got to look at these things. You've got to look at what you want to attract in your life. Believe you're worthy of it, and believe that you will attract it, and trust your archer to deliver it to you.
Anita, it's always fantastic talking to you. And this is like, again, we've run out of time. We're definitely going to be continuing this series. I really, really enjoy it. Anita Forelli, thanks very much.
You're welcome.